Welcome to Brown Rappers Network.
Hi, how's it going?
It's
Also, oh my God, look at that. It's like a massive kayak.
I drew it myself.
That's so cute.
So how are you right now? What are you
I,
doing right now?
I was just at home. I had a
Mm-hmm.
bit of an easy day. I just fed my cat. And yeah, I have a bunch of stuff to do after this. This is the first thing on my day. So I'm awesome. That's awesome.
Awesome. So I was actually gonna ask you this at the end of the interview, but now that you brought up your cat,
Of course,
um, so why cats? Are you predominantly like, are you just a cat person or do you like dogs too?
I love dogs too. In fact, I had a dream last night where I had this really big dog that I was traveling with, and it was the cutest dream. But it kind of felt like I was cheating on my cat because I was hugging this dog and like petting him and all of that. And I
Uh-huh.
was trying to find pet-friendly hotels in this place that I was at. But so yeah, so I love dogs.
Okay.
It's just that it just so happened that I've had cats in my life because they kind of adopt you,
Hmm.
and it is a little easier than taking care of a dog in the sense I don't have to walk my cat all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he is quite an attention seeker, so I do need to spend a lot of time with him. But it's just happened very organically. I'd love to like have a farm with like lots of cats and dogs at some point in my life.
Interesting. So you
Yeah.
travel with your cat, I'm assuming?
I don't, unfortunately. I wish I could, but when I am traveling, either my mom or some of my friends, but like recently, my boyfriend takes care of our cat, and it's the sweetest thing ever because I literally finish a show, I go back to the hotel, and then I'm just video calling Suki, like, "What's up? I miss you." It's a little difficult to travel with him, no? Also, these schedules are really hectic, so yeah.
Absolutely. That's right. So
I love that we started off with discussing my cat.
same. I'm glad you brought it up because that was actually a question I was gonna ask you at the end. In relation to your latest single, but we're gonna talk about that a little later on. So, with the start of this interview, I wanted to talk about your upbringing, like what influences you had as a kid, like in your younger years. So, like, where did you move around a lot, or were you in one spot? What was your upbringing like?
I pretty much grew up in Bombay. I have been born and brought up in Bombay. I've spent all my life over here. Um, but music and art was a big part of my upbringing because my mom's a singer and my grandmom was a dancer. And so when I was a kid, I used to be like taken to a lot of different, dance performances and music shows and stuff like that. And that was really nice. It was also different from what the other kids were usually doing. So I used to not like it so much then, but in retrospect, I think that was a really cool thing. But yeah, we grew up in Bombay, and that's kind of what I was surrounded by, and it's a blessing, honestly, to have that because now they understand what I do and they support me that way. So that's really nice.
Yeah, honestly, like, I was in India for 6 months last year,
Hmm.
and I traveled around to Mumbai and Delhi mostly. And
Yeah.
every time I was traveling either to Mumbai or to Delhi, there was a KAYAN concert or something going on with your name, and so your name was just hovering around me everywhere I was going in India. So I would also like to say this moment means a lot to me. Like
Thank
I have
you.
known of you and known of your music and heard your music and been a fan of your performance mostly as a DJ, as I've seen like how you affect the crowd, not only at Veranda where I saw you the first time, but at All You Can Street as well, which was organized by AB. And I see that you and AB are also
Yeah,
kind of
AV for
kind of
me.
close, right? You've done
Yeah,
some performances together.
for sure. Firstly, thank you so much. That's really, really kind of you, and I appreciate that so much. And yeah, AB, so AB and I actually, I really want to do like one or two songs with AB. We've already like done this back and forth of sharing the demos. Actually, no, he's just sent me the demos. I haven't sent him anything back. But I'll get there. But no, so I actually needed an MC for the show that I was playing. Um, it was some store launch, and the MC was supposed to like play with me, cancelled. And the day off at
Ooh.
the store launch, I bumped into AB and I was like, yo, listen,
Mm.
there's a mic, you want to do this? And he's like, what? I've never done this. I'm so nervous. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But AB comes on and he just kills it. That was the first time we did that together. And I did not expect that to like go that way. But it went really well, and it was also really funny because at one point AB was literally like hitting on some chick on the mic. He's like, yeah, that one or something like that. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it went really well, and the energy was spot on. So after that, for some gigs that I did like a few festival shows as a DJ, and I kind of prefer an MC on those ones. AB joined me, and we had a ball. So yeah.
Yeah, I
I
can.
love what he does. I think he's super fresh and super
Yeah,
fresh music, super fresh videos. I love all you can street. So yeah.
yeah, he's one of the few people who have inspired me to like fear less when you're trying to like explain something or talk something from your perspective. Like he's very himself, and he just says it. He's just out there, and it's an energy that you can catch on to easily.
Sure.
Yeah. But which concert was that you guys performed together for the first time?
For the first time, it was a store launch for Vero Moda, and it was on Linking Road. It was a really cool party actually. It was just at this massive store that they have over here, and there are a lot of people actually that I even knew. And that was just this random thing that AB was also at, and I was supposed to play.
Mhm.
Um, And after that, we played at Zomaland together, which is another festival that happens. And that's when
Right.
I like officially did it. And we
Yes.
did like 2 Zomalands together or 3 Zomalands together. I'm not sure. But that
How was
was
that experience at Zomaland? Was there anything that was different about it compared to your other gigs?
yeah, it was very different. It was about 5,000 plus people
Uh-huh.
at the concert where it was mainly like singers before me, and I
Mhm.
feel like when a DJ goes on after like 5 or 6 vocalists or bands or whatever, I feel like it hits the crowd a little different, and I feel like they kind of miss that communication that was happening, which is why I feel an MC really adds a lot to the show, crowd work and all of that. There's so much that goes into it. So that way Zomaland was a little different in the sense of in a club setting, you can really build a setup very differently. You can take more time. This is a much shorter set time also usually at festivals, and you kind of have to, I don't know, it feels like everything you do needs to kind of hit, when the crowd is already like that energized and you're closing the night. So that was
Yeah.
different. I actually learned a lot from that, and how to work with a much different crowd than I usually do.
Can you speak about some of your earlier experiences where things may have gone a little bit, well, things have not gone so smoothly, and why that may have been for like artists? Because as the Brown Rappers Network, we have a lot of up and coming artists who message us as well
Yeah.
and ask us to host events for them, and we have like third party event organizers who kind of help them get themselves out there. But sometimes the crowd is not right, or for that particular artist, right? Like that crowd that comes on that night, or the venue is not right, or they haven't scheduled their performance at the right time. Like if you have new artists coming to perform at a club,
Yeah.
what I've learned is that you can't put them later on in the night. They have to go earlier. There's no option of putting them later, because some artists are like, no, we want to go on a bit later, but they need to understand if they're not as well known, people later in the night want to sing lyrics and songs that they're kind of
Familiar with.
familiar with. Yeah. So what advice would you give for people who are trying to start going and doing gigs?
I feel like, okay, when when I used to do gigs much before KAYAN was a thing, I used to do a lot of cover shows. I used to put together different bands and play cover sets at different restaurants and all of that. And I had many experiences where basically we were just background noise to whatever was happening at that restaurant. And it can be really, really disrespectful, even though I don't think a lot of times people mean to. It's just that sometimes people just put music at a restaurant because they want to show that there's live music happening, and it's just a bunch of people eating and there's just this music happening at the background. That honestly taught me a lot, because you got to take those shows to pay the bills, get experience, learn more, and all of that. So you just got to suck it up and move forward, because eventually once you constantly keep at it, I think all those gigs helped me learn so much about understanding different audiences and communicating differently in different situations. Sometimes you just have to deal with an audience that's not interested, and what can you do? Can you like get pissed off on the mic? I once kind of did. This was way back, like 4 or 5 years ago, where we put in so much effort. We used to like rearrange, different songs in more of an R&B or funk style. And I was literally singing on stage, and they were so loud in the front, and everyone was just like nobody gave a fuck. And I was so upset about that literally after the song got over, I didn't say anything rude or harsh, but I just said it in such a mean tone. I was like, anyway, so thanks for that, guys. And my band members looked at me like, you can't really talk like that. And I was like, thanks for listening. And like that was the one time that I kind of let it slip.
How
But
long ago was this?
like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I used to play with Kimochi Yokai, which used to be like my band way back in the day, my first band.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
yeah, so it was
Who
just
else
one
was
of these gigs.
part of that band?
So in Kimochi Yokai, this lineup had Nirvan on drums, we had Niranjan Joshi on keyboards, Bishan on guitar, and Vishal on bass. So that was the band. And yeah, I actually miss playing with that band also. It was really fun, but yeah. But that was initially, and then time passes, and now I obviously have different gigs. Like KAYAN Live is so different, and you're kind of the audience is there because they already know that this is what they're coming for. It's obviously not, music at the background in a restaurant.
Yeah.
But I had some DJ sets where I don't know, it's just not the right vibe. Every gig is not a banger like I thought it would be. But it's okay. You learn. You see that maybe this audience is not vibing with this, and that's why I think as a DJ also my song selection is very versatile, and you just got to switch it up
Yeah.
and just
So
learn from it and
what is
past it.
what is everyone in the band doing right now? Are they all doing their own thing? Like in the
Yeah, so
music,
basically,
or
kind of some of them I am not in touch with everyone, but as far like I haven't seen what Niranjan has been up to in a really long time, but Nirvan is still playing. He in fact plays with a couple of Bollywood bands, and I have like some of my dancers also dance with that band, so I kind of know a little bit. I know Vishal is still playing. I have not been in touch with Bishan either. This kind of happened in the lockdown, where it was really difficult to kind of hold a band together because all of us were from different places. I'm from Bombay. Bishan was from Manipur, and Vishal was from Jaipur, and Niranjan was also from Bombay, but we were all like in different cities. In the lockdown, everyone went back, and it was really tough to kind of hold it together. So yeah.
okay. And what would you say were your early influences? Like besides your parents, obviously, where there was a culture of music, who would you say a person or an experience other than your parents influenced you to be the kind of musician that you are today?
Um, I don't know if any artist or any person in particular in my childhood influenced me to be the kind of musician I am today, but I'm sure it had some kind of an impact, because when I think in sixth grade or fifth grade, my aunt gifted me an acoustic guitar, and I was like, well, I was a black Granada acoustic guitar, and there was this guy in my building who I used to call Shalom Bhaiya. Shalom Bhaiya, who is now I don't call him Bhaiya. He is part of this indie band called Light Years Explode, which is so cool. He's the bassist in that band, I think.
Okay.
So he was the only musician I knew then, like in my building. And I went to him to learn guitar. And he used to teach me like a few basics. But he gave me the CD that was labeled Punk's Not Dead. And this CD had a lot of new punk music. It had Blink 182, it had Green Day, it had The Offspring, it had a bunch of Nirvana, like it had these super, like that CD was epic. It was 100 songs and he called it Punk's Not Dead. And I think I heard that CD and I would listen to those songs on repeat. Um, and that vibe, because nobody else my age at that time was also listening to that. So I thought that was like super cool of me. So that vibe mixed with watching Hannah Montana on TV and having some old school Hannah Montana vibes, plus completely idolizing Avril Lavigne and Green Day. Like it was a mix of all of this that kind of like, I used to listen to that music a lot. So I guess in some way, I mean, I still love Avril. Like she's definitely someone I keep going back to listen to.
Your Hannah Montana thing.
Yeah.
So this blends perfectly into one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. Was this an influence for you to be two kinds of artists? How did you come about to be a DJ and a musician and a singer, songwriter with multiple artist personalities? Was this an influence, or was there like another story behind this?
No, I don't think Hannah Montana was the reason why this happened. It just so happened that I used to watch that on TV. But so I was a singer, songwriter, or a singer much before I was DJing. And how the DJing came about was I was actually at a gig one day and I didn't like the music that was playing, and I was like, oh fuck, like I wish I could play my own music. And honestly, soon after that, there's this super cool artist, Sand Dunes, Sanaya. She was hosting a DJ residency and she called me and she was like, yo, I'll teach you the basics and all of that. And at my residency, you can open for me and we'll play. I was like, this is awesome. And I learned from her. I played my first gig, which was at Bonobo in Bandra. I opened for her. Completely sucked, but the vibe was there. My friends were there to support me, and I really enjoyed it. I was so nervous. I remember I was so scared of touching buttons that would fuck something up because I just wasn't used to it at all.
Yeah.
But I really kept at it after that. Like my friends also, a couple of my other friends also had just started, DJing. So we used to contribute some money and rent the CDJs and get them to our place. And we used to party a lot and play a lot. And that's just how I kept at it and started doing gigs. So it happened very
Cool.
organically and I really, really enjoy doing both. So yeah.
Super cool. That's awesome. I've always wanted to DJ. I just don't think I've made the effort to do it, to learn it yet.
Yeah, it's just practicing. Like I was absolutely
Yeah.
clueless right when I touched the CDJs for the first time. I was so scared, but you just
Yeah.
get used.
I think it gives you a lot of time to experiment with how a lot of music can sound differently as well, and give you perspective as a creator as well. Not
Yeah.
only just
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a great point. Like it opened my mind and I opened myself up to so much more music as a DJ. I started listening to so much more. Like I think I was stuck in a phase where I was only listening to like R&B and soul, and that was the only kind of like music that was kind of getting through to me. And then I started listening to so much more electronic music, like I anyway was before I started to learn how to DJ. I got introduced to a lot of bass music, and that was kind of it for me. When I heard drum and bass and I really got into it, I was like, okay, this is my vibe. Like that is what I'm going to do. But then slowly over time, I think I started opening up to so many more genres, and now it's like this whole like bank of music that I genuinely love, and it's so different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like even music that you feel like you did not like at first listen, when you try to play with it on your set, you can kind of manipulate the sound to make it get through to you, like
Yeah.
like you said. Yeah. Who would you say are your top 3 DJs of all time? Are there your top, do you have a top 3? Like if you were to host an event and you were to have 3 DJs play throughout the night, who would they be?
I would definitely have Kate Ranada on board because I don't listen to a lot of Ketra right now, but he was definitely one of the first like DJs or musicians that when I heard that, I was like, the shit slaps, you know.
Yeah.
Nara, another DJ who I love, whose edits also I fuck with, and I love how versatile his DJ set is, Jero Vandal. However, I don't know how to say it. Vandal, I'm guessing, because vandalize. I play a lot of his edits. He's also super versatile and plays like so many different genres of music. And I think I listened to a lot of Boiler Room sets, and I recently found this super cool DJ, Nuria, on the London Boiler Room set. And I absolutely loved what she was doing and everything she stood for and the music she was playing. And you should like totally check that out.
Sure.
Yeah, so Ketra, JV and Nuria would be a vibe. I think that would be such a dope gig. Fuck, I wish I was at this gig, and I'd play too. I'd put myself on the stuff. Yeah,
I was gonna say, but yeah,
yeah,
Kate, out of those three, I've heard Ketra's stuff, not the
yeah,
other two, but I will go and check them out for sure.
yeah.
What about music? Let's say things that like music that you listen to right now. What would you say are your top 3 songs right now on repeat?
Number one is I think a lot of them actually at the new Skrillex and Fred again. So my number one song that's been on repeat is Ratata, Skrillex and Missy Elliott. What a song! What a banger! And then I was listening to Jungle by Fred again on repeat. And another song that's kind of always a song that works for me is Crew by Brent Fayaz and Gold Link. I love that song
Gold
and I
Link's
never get
fire.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
song that's always a thing for me. Yeah.
Awesome. So you've been identified as one of the top indie artists or the top indie artist in India right now. How did you come about to get this news? Is this news that you are aware of? Or is it
No.
just, no, you're not aware of this? Was there no one who was there no official email that came to you? It's like, hey, you are the top indie artist. Was there no
No.
like streaming platform like Apple or Spotify that gives you like a notification saying that, hey, you are the top streamed or the top indie artist in India right now?
I think the top streamed artist right now is Anup Jain.
Okay.
Sure. Like
Yeah.
his stream thing. Yeah. That's what I know, the top streamed. But they do this like male female thing, so I don't know what's up with that. So maybe
Yeah.
in the male section of this this category, maybe I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But if that is how it's looked at, then that's awesome. I appreciate that so much. That's dope. Like that's dope.
Yeah, I think you are one of the top influential artists in India right now, in my perspective, for sure.
Thank you, man. I hope I'm influencing them right.
Yeah, I think inspiring, influential, those words would resonate with my description of you if I were to give a description.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I also see you've done some work with Young Raja. Have you done some work with Young Raja? What exactly
Yeah,
did you work on?
we did a song together called No Shade. It was my song featuring Young Raja, and it was really dope. We have an amazing music video that was shot by Lendrick Kumar and Prayun, and I absolutely love them. They are so talented. Young Raja is so talented. I have been a fan of him since a really long time. So it was like such a cool collaboration that this was actually happening was like a big thing for me. And yeah, I'm really proud of that song that we've done together. Yeah.
What was the name of
Really
the
fun.
song?
No Shade.
No Shade. When did you
Yeah.
record this? When did you work on it together?
Like last year, maybe sometime before that is probably when I kind of started working on the demo. The beat, the production is by Michael Piroli. He's a producer from New York, super cool guy. And yeah, this was one of his beats that we kind of worked on. So yeah, so
Okay.
like maybe last year or sometime before that.
Nice. Now let's talk about your YouTube Foundry class of 2022. Now, this is a recognition you probably did get the notification for. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes, yes, we did.
So tell us a little bit more about it. I don't think a lot of people have even heard of what YouTube Foundry is yet, because I think it's something that's still new and upcoming, right?
Yeah, I think Foundry's been going on for a few years.
Okay.
Uh, on their roster, they had like Dua Lipa and
Yeah.
them. These are
Yeah.
artists that, like, it's insane that I got to be a part of a program that has worked with artists of this caliber. But the Foundry notification, yes, when we got it, was really, really exciting. And even though the project was supposed to end in December last year, I'm still kind of working on another. My next music video will also be through the Foundry program. It
Wow.
basically means that YouTube shows a lot of support. You have a YouTube partner, and my YouTube partner is awesome. His name is Saransh. Shout out Saransh. He's an amazing guy. They help you understand your YouTube analytics more. They help you clean up your page. It's like a proper hygiene check. They help you just understand how you're supposed to, because at the end of the day, I feel like you have to find your own rhythm with your own social media pages, but they try to help you as much as they can from their end to kind of, give you that push. Yeah, and it really taught me a lot and made me realize, okay, these are certain things that I can work on when it comes to this channel, because I personally feel it's a much more difficult channel to grow. Like even after this, my YouTube channel has been, it's still like the small growth, and I know it's gonna like happen where suddenly it's gonna be like, whoa, what? We have 100K or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's happening, and it takes a lot of work. You have to like basically keep posting like
Yeah.
anywhere else, keep at it.
Yeah.
um but that's just maybe how I look at it. I think it works differently for different musicians, different artists. Sometimes a musician's music video just really blows up, people resonate with it, and that's, they don't need to keep doing that. So I think it works differently for different people. But yeah, Foundry kind of helped me. They're like my partners through like a 6 to 8 month process of making this whole thing happen.
Right. They kind of will give you knowledge and more options to discover,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm building a YouTube channel of my own, and I know how difficult it can be and how many options there are, like through, you know, posting a lot of shorts or
Yeah.
um doing something. But I feel like there are people who have come across who have different outlooks on these things. Like you said, some people are like, yeah, I'm just like pumping out content like, 3 times a day, 5 times a day, like 10 times a day. Then there's some people, some artists who I've met, it was like, I can't give all my time to
Yeah.
deciding what content's going out this frequently in the day, right? Like, this is not what I want to do. Or how I want to gain my success. If that's how you gain success, if that's the only way to gain success, like that's not the path I'm taking anyways. Like, I just want to
Yeah.
create something of a quality,
Yeah, it's
a
also
song or
how
a movie.
relevant content is, how, all of these things really matter. Like, I don't see myself posting constantly all the time, but when I do drop that music video, I know it's going to live there forever, or not, because the internet. But
Mhm.
it's there. It's like this piece of art that you've put out there. So I know that when I do put that out there, like, I want it to be something that really hits, and we put in so much work into all of these things. So yeah,
Exactly.
just different approaches, I guess, work differently.
Right. So what about
Yeah.
your latest music video that you did for Count the Stars? It was just an animation. How did you think that this was something that you wanted to do for this music video?
So I think I always wanted to do an animated music video. I also was a huge, like, I had a very huge anime phase in my life, and that was because of the first drummer of Kimochi Yokai, who actually kind of got me into a little bit of Japanese culture and anime. And I think that phase of my life impacted me a lot. And so I've always wanted an animated music video. And I have also always wanted to work with Studio Mobius, who is Nikunj, who made this music video along with his team. they're awesome. I've seen his work. I've seen him work on like different animated videos, and I love the style, and it was very similar to what I had in mind. And so we did a little back and forth. We worked on it for a few months. A lot of work went into getting the characters right, and finally we had this, because the song also feels like it's this, like, I don't think in real life I'd be able to capture that feeling, because a lot of times when I would watch anime, I used to feel like this life just never looks like this, and this is so beautiful, and this is this anime world that I want to live in. And I feel like those colors and just the vibe and the drive down that road in my fantasy world was just what would capture the song in its essence. So
Yeah.
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 It's just so clean cut, isn't it? It's like, it's just so clean.
Yeah.
But I thought the song was amazing. I thought the song was badass. And
Thank
I
you.
again resonated with this song in particular. I think your chorus, would you be able to sing your chorus for us live?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty much just like, I can only hear these rappers' voices on these sounds. All I wanna do is make my shit and fuck around. Y'all want me to make the same shit all year round. Well, that ain't gonna happen. I'ma fuck around. I'ma fuck around. Yeah, that's just what it is. Because the moment I heard the beat also for the first time, it was just like, this was the flow that was in my head, and these were the words that happened so organically. And yeah, it was, I didn't even change the hook from the first time I wrote it.
I
Yeah.
feel that. I feel that. So like till this point, I have released 8 songs
Mhm.
and everyone is still hooked up on my first song. They're like, no, that's the best song, bro. You should make a song like that. And so
Yeah.
I completely felt what you was trying to say with your
Yeah.
words in the
Yeah.
song, that like, oh my God, people are gonna be like stuck and they're gonna be like, oh, this is, make the same shit again. Just make it like
Yeah, and that's not
again.
gonna
And
happen. Like,
it's,
I'm gonna do my thing. So
yeah,
yeah,
I
maybe
completely
I
get that.
will, maybe I won't, but it's just something I decide. Yeah.
I feel that. Now, one of the bigger achievements, I believe, in my perspective, you tell me how this was for you when you found out that you were going to be on the cover of Forbes 30 under 30 entrepreneurs. How was, how did
Good.
this all happen? How did you
Uh,
feel when you found out?
that was insane. I think after a very long time, when I found this, when I heard this news, I was like, what? Because 30 under 30 is a list I have wanted. Like, it's, I have, like, there's certain things that I want, like there's certain covers that I want to be on, there's certain lists that I want. Like 30 under 30 was a list that I really wanted to be on. um there's just certain things that you kind of also like. I think I used to listen to that song Billionaire a lot,
Me too.
by Mars and Travis.
Same,
Yeah.
same.
And yeah, and it was just that, I don't know, like I still resonate with that song so much. Okay,
Same.
like huge like sucker for pop also. And I don't know, it just feels like shit, this is that song. Like, this is actually, I want to be on the cover of Forbes. Like, what? So that was really insane. And I did not apply for it. I did not, like, I didn't even know the process of the whole thing. I'd found out that, yeah, you send in these applications and all of that. Like, I was aware, but I hadn't done that for this year. Like, so
Mhm.
it was just it was a call, like, you've been nominated. Someone told me actually that you've been nominated. And then I received a message from an associate that works at Forbes saying you've been selected. And
Wow.
it's like, oh, this is insane. And I wasn't told that I was going to be on the cover of the magazine. Like, we weren't sure. So it kind of just like, you have to be really quiet about it. So it was like the first shoot that we did, no one said anything. But that's when we actually shot the cover. And I didn't know we were shooting the cover. I wasn't sure. And then the second shoot, someone had told us, but again, they were being like really vague. So I was like, you know what? Till I see it, I'm not going to say this to anyone. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. I see it. Like, that's when it'll be a thing.
Yeah.
And then we saw it and it looked so good. I was like, this is
Amazing. Like, it's
awesome.
a list of 30 people under 30, right? 30 entrepreneurs under 30. And how many people were on the cover?
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. I mean, I think you just like get lucky with things. I respect everyone that's on that list. It's super cool, and
That
um,
that
I
was
was
an
just waking
honest question. That was an honest question. How many people were on that cover? Do you
up with
remember?
4 people. Yeah,
4 people.
I
Okay.
was like, that's just like I don't want to throw shade.
No, I know, I
Like,
know.
yeah, it was just us four that made it. Like, oh no, I respect everyone. That's great. But there were
Yeah,
4 of us on the cover. So when we were
correct.
shooting on the first day, I didn't know we were shooting for the cover.
And
I'm
who was,
just glad
but who were the
that.
people that were with you on the cover?
So next to me was Raj Shamani. He does a bunch of things actually, super cool guy. I wouldn't give the intros, but I was with Raj
Okay.
Shamani. I was with fashion influencer Sakshi, and I was with the founder of this brand called Harago, which is a super cool clothing brand, conscious, organic, blah blah blah. So
Hmm.
harsh. So yeah, I'd never met any of them before, but everyone's energy was like, this is happening, this is awesome. And we shot with Mexi, who's an amazing photographer, and she was a really, really fun vibe. I think she had this vibe where she was just schooling all of us. She's like, okay, okay, come now. And I was like, okay, yes, ma'am. Like, it was really cute. So yeah.
Yeah. No, super cool. I feel like when you reach a feat like that, something so grand, you could use that term grand for this achievement, right? Um, is there a voice inside of you that wants to justify the recognition or the achievement? And if there was, how did you sort of, what was your thought process when you got this achievement? Like, did you have that kind of question to yourself, like, but like, what exactly am I getting this achievement for?
Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure. I think as an artist, like you just are constantly living through self-doubt and then
Right?
self-doubt and belief. And um, you know, I wasn't completely sure, but I knew that I'm like someone's recognizing something I'm doing. And
Right.
I don't know what it is, but I do put in a lot of hard work into everything I'm doing. It's been a very hectic year and a half or so where I've been touring like crazy. You know, in the middle of that, I've tried to write music, and I managed to put a music video together and managed to drop that. And, you know, a lot of things have been happening. So it felt like, okay, I don't know what it is, but something is being recognized by someone, and I appreciate that. But there was a quote that was given by, and then I thanked the people, the jury was Ankur Tiwari and Padmanabh, who is the head of marketing at Spotify India, and Ankur, who's an amazing singer songwriter and a musician that I really respect. He's an amazing music supervisor. He's just a great guy, and I feel like they saw something and they wanted to give someone an opportunity. And I messaged them, and you know, they were so kind about it. And in the article that Forbes wrote, actually Padmanabh wrote a statement that I did not even know, that someone looks at what I'm doing something, you know, like this way. And he wrote that uh it really stayed with me, because I was like, fuck, that means so much to me. And I don't think I'm doing that. I don't get up in the morning and I'm like, this is what I'm going to do today. But he said that Ambika is paving the path for pop stars in India today. And it's a path that is met with a lot of something along the lines of a lot of, you know, judgment, blah, 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 and hardships. But she's basically fucking getting past that shit. That's not exactly what he said, but, you
But
know,
yeah,
the fact that he mentioned that there are these hardships and that he could see me fight those and move forward meant a lot to me. And I was like, okay, like it means so much to me. But literally the excitement dies down really fast. Like, I'm cool now. Like,
yeah,
it was super exciting. It's like, now, okay, I want to be on to the next thing. And this is just like 1% of everything that I want to achieve and want to be at. So it's humbling, and I just want to move on and do better. So yeah.
yeah. But I feel as an artist, if you've been able to like efficiently handle that praise, it's a super good thing, super beneficial to your career, because I feel like as an artist, you kind of seek that validation for so long. And then when you get it, you're like, you can get lost in it. You can kind of keep that on a loop in your head that, okay, yeah, I'm doing so well, but then you're actually not doing anything else. You're not moving on to the next project or something like that as efficiently as you could, because you're all up in your head. But yeah, need to be able to take the praise and move on to the next one.
Yeah, I
like
think it helps. I'm surrounded by a lot of grounding forces, and I also look at a lot of artists who are doing so much more than me, and like they're just amazing and they're killing it, and I respect that, and I want to be that. Like I want to be able to do all those things, you know. So there's only so much more that I want to do. So yeah, it's only forward movement.
yeah, but obviously I'm sure like these achievements are things that you carry with you. Even though like you don't stay stuck on it, they help you kind of navigate through being an artist even better
I
now
think
that you
it was
know,
more than
right?
anything. It was just positive reinforcement. That's
Right,
what it felt
positive
like.
reinforcement.
It's
Correct.
fine. Like that's what it felt like whether this happened or not, I still have to like go ahead and do things. But the fact that this happened was positive reinforcement that you got this. You just keep going now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a rapid fire sort of
Oh,
round here.
okay.
It's very simple, word association.
Okay, cool.
Because we are on the Brown Rappers Network, I am gonna list my top rappers right
Okay.
now. And when I name the rapper, I just need you to give your first thought of
Okay.
that comes into your head. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
But what if I don't know them? Then I'm just gonna say I don't know.
Yeah, you can just be like, or
Fine.
anything. I don't know them, or anything.
Okay,
Your
cool.
first thought,
Yeah.
Eminem,
Mm. Mm, fucking baller. What do I say? He's legendary. Baller. So look,
J.
I'm
Cole.
the different words like J. Cole. J. Cole is a lyrical genius.
That's the perfect phrase. I would
It's
use that too.
yeah.
Yeah. Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow is like Instagram love vibes, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Kanye.
Kanye is
He's
he's a masterpiece.
a
That's what
masterpiece.
Kanye is. He's a masterpiece.
Drake.
Crazy master. Drake is like
Eh?
Drake, no, he's not there. There's like so many words coming to my mind. I'm trying to be careful. Drake is he's got the hooks. Yeah.
Okay. Kendrick.
Kendrick is just respect. Yeah.
And the last one, Mac Miller.
Mac Miller is uh I don't want to say something sad, but Mac Miller is like literally brilliance. I listen to Mac Miller so much. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a really like it's a sad reminder. The first thing that comes to your mind is like shit, you know.
Shit. Yeah.
Rest in peace, a lot of respect, and gone too soon. But
Mm.
I think he was like brilliant.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
agree. He's one of my first influences to start writing and
So,
making music. Yeah, like you know how you said you were back in the day, you were one of the first ones to listen to a certain type of music, right? Because you were given this mixtape
yeah,
or given this playlist. For me it was Mac Miller and like even older Jaden Smith stuff and
yeah. Mac Miller was brilliant
yeah,
and very relatable. That's a more correct
very
word.
relatable.
Relatable. Yeah.
What's one song? Let's say your favorite song by Mac Miller and I'll tell you mine.
My favorite song by Mac Miller is with Ariana Grande. You just don't know how beautiful you are. Maybe that's my favorite part. That's my favorite song.
Yeah,
I love that song. How can you write such a simple and beautiful love song? It's beautiful.
absolutely. I couldn't really say my favorite because there's just so many that are coming to my
Yeah,
mind. I
it's
know I
very
would tell you my
difficult.
favorite, but I could tell you ones that influenced me um first. Something like Weekend,
Yeah,
and Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza.
yeah.
And some of his old and Knock Knock, right? Like the way he sampled that. Yeah, it was amazing and truly like a free soul, like super open and honest. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think we've spoken about so many things. We spoke about the
Right?
new music video and life and all of that. And
Yeah.
honestly, I just love that it's been such a casual conversation, which is why I felt so comfortable to talk so much to
So
you.
thank you
Yeah,
so much for giving me your evening. This was truly a bucket list thing for me
that
to be
is
able
so
to
sweet.
talk to you.
Thank you so much, Manav. That's really, really sweet. I hope to see you soon. Where are you based out of?